Well, hey friends, it's Connie from Mt Airy Herb Farm. I'm out in my garden tonight. It's a beautiful evening. We've had some rain today after a long period of drought, and things are looking dewy, but we definitely have lots of work to do here in the garden, and it's exciting. It's a lot of fun to work on. So I'm going to start a garden tour and show you what everything looks like right now. As you can see, this garden is a work in progress. Still lots to do on it. You can see the elderberries in the background. They're really skinny compared to years before. So I'm going to start with the comfrey. It's looking pretty rough. One good trimming back, a good haircut, and it's going to be beautiful again. It'll give us another flush of flowers. It really needs some attention. Love my comfrey. I only planted 12 plants here and ended up getting way more, and it keeps spreading and spreading, which is awesome. Right there's the catnip. It also needs a good haircut. Beautiful, beautiful. I have a lavender bed. Next year I'm going to be, well, this fall, I'm going to be adding to it and doubling it. Looking good. We've got wormwood. I have kind of let it go because I wanted to make a wreath out of it, so I'm going to be doing that really soon. Big, beautiful plant that comes back every year. And then I'm really excited about the hops. My husband built me this beautiful obelisk, 3 of them, and I've got hops planted under each one. I've had some issues with the Japanese beetles here, but I used diatomaceous earth on them and they took off and went someplace else. So it looks like I'm going to get some buds here. So pretty. Lemon balm also needs trimming back. This is the first year of the St. John's wort. It hasn't bloomed yet, but it's starting to. See the little blooms right there? I only harvest the first 3 inches of after the bloom. Pineapple sage. It's struggling along, but it's getting there. This is Echinacea purpurea, and I have lots of echinacea to add to this. So I've got all this space right here. I'm going to put all the echinacea I have growing in the greenhouse there. This is lemon bee balm. Isn't it pretty? This is my first year growing this. I got it from Baker Creek. Never heard of it before, but trying it this year, and it's so pretty. Can't wait to try some tea. This is mugwort. Looks like it's going to seed. And this is wild bee balm. This comes back every year. I think it just reseeds. And then my motherwort patch. It's so interesting, the motherwort. I've never figured this out, but this is the leaf structure right now. As this gets older and taller and about to bloom, it's almost as if that just changes leaf structure. And then this is the smaller one. See the difference? Same plant, different leaves. Super cool. Okay. This is not a very big calendula patch. As much calendula as I use, not a very big patch. I've got a lot more planted up at the greenhouse. And then here is clary sage. This is the 2nd year, and I cut it back, but it looks like it's going to bloom again. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I love this stuff. This is my echinacea, another echinacea patch. Rue. This should be blooming, but it probably won't bloom until next year. Peppermint. Spearmint. And in here I have hyssop. First year, I have more planted at the greenhouse because I didn't get enough in here. You can see it mixed in with the peppermint there. This is Heal All, or All Heal, however you say it. It's going to bloom probably next year. And feverfew, of course. Isn't it beautiful? Just has the prettiest flowers. I use this in my pain formula. This is black lace elderberry. Around the seeding area here, I have lemongrass growing. Now, if you want something that truly does ward off mosquitoes, this is it. However, you do have to squeeze the plant a little bit to get the volatile oils out of it. And then we have a really sorry looking patch of lemon balm. It's ready to be trimmed back. And here is licorice. I've got a lot more planted up at the greenhouse, and I'm going to put in the whole patch here. More wormwood. And then these aren't looking too great, but these are Ellie campaign, and they come back and back and back. And as you can see, they kind of have taken over the garden, over in this part of the garden, and I need to go ahead and harvest those. They're old enough, and it's time to harvest, and I'm excited because I have all this room right in here that I'm going to be able to plant. Probably Joe Pye weed. I've got some of that growing at the greenhouse. And then this is southernwood. She is so beautiful and has no viable seed. I got this from a plant from a lady a long time ago, and I have propagated it once. So I've got 3 plants in here. Super easy to propagate. Here I have one plant, which I'm getting ready to harvest the seeds of these so that I can plant some more. It's wild quinine. And as you can see, it's trying to go to seed here. So I'm going to be harvesting the seed. More Ellie campaign. This is something that you don't want to let go to seed. So I'm going to be harvesting the tops off as fast as I can. This is milk thistle. Looks real bad, but it's gone to seed, which is what I wanted it to do. Very prickly, very painful. And so what I have to do is use gloves and then use pliers to pull out the seeds. And then in here, and mixed in with the Ellie campaign, I've got stinging nettles. This is my goji berry patch, just a little patch. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and they have suffered pretty bad with this drought, but they're coming back a little bit, which is cool. This is astragalus with the weed in the middle, and I'll get it later. Astragalus, this is a baby astragalus, and this is a baby astragalus, and my rose bushes, my rose patch. Look at that rose. Isn't that gorgeous? So we're going to pan over here real quick. These are the tents we've been working on for the this is our 3rd year of glamping. These are the aronia berries. The aronia berries are getting really close to being picked. They don't have much taste to them, but they are really high in antioxidants. And so it's a really important part of the herb garden here. And then back across here, this is wood betony. It's seen its better days. I've been harvesting seeds from it so that I can put in more. So I'm going to fill in this whole area here with wood betony. Meadowsweet needs some love for sure. Roman chamomile, just the start of a good patch of that. I've got that here and there all around the garden. And this big daddy here is amazing. It's about to bloom, and it's going to be so pretty. White blooms. This is swamp mallow. And I only have one growing in the garden. I think actually that one's a new one this year. This is my yarrow patch. It looks really weedy, and it needs to be cut back too. But I have way too much yarrow growing in this garden. And then the thyme patch. All different kinds of thyme is all mixed in there. Isn't it pretty? And that's my sage patch, which I really do want to expand. Also, horehound and borage. It was beautiful in its glory days. Cut it back, and I believe I'll get another flush of color. And this is the marshmallow patch. I just have a small patch. It's time to harvest the roots of this marshmallow plant and then plant more for next year, which I will be doing this fall. Get the root system going really good and then transfer these into the garden. One of the things that I just really love is this passion flower. I call it passion flower instead of passion fruit because I hardly ever get a fruit, but the flowers are glorious. It's not quite ready to flower yet, but I can't wait to show you when it is. That's Luna. She loves to hang out with me in the garden. This is lemon verbena. Came back from last year. I was also surprised at that because I thought it was an annual, and I plant it new every year. I found out it's probably going to be a perennial. And then we have speluntes, which is also called tooth eggplant. And I've got two different varieties here. One is yellow with some marshmallow growing up in the middle. This is yellow, and then this is just the regular one. This one has the bullseye look in it. It's the funniest little plant. Lots of benefits to it. I love it. This is the lemony lace elderberry that is growing really good. Hoping that it'll get really, really tall. And last but not least, here in this part of the garden is my holy basil, ready to harvest. My most favorite herb of all. Look at that. So beautiful. I love to smell it. I love to just walk past it, water it, anything that you do with it. It rewards you with a beautiful fragrance. So I'm going to skip across here and show you my cut flower garden, even though this is my guilt-free garden. It just doesn't look very good at all. So many weeds. But part of it is the weeds that I planted last year, which one is scum-freeness, so pretty. See if I can find one here. This is Sweet Annie, and it has become invasive in my garden, and I really hate it. And I wish I hadn't planted it. But what I do wish I had done is I wish that I had trimmed it back before it went to seed. So Sweet Annie is very valuable, and I love it, but it has become just a nightmare in this garden, and so along with the other weeds. So I was blessed with all of these mullein that have come up because I love to use the flowers, and of course I use the leaves, and I have even made walking stick from mullein. So beautiful. And these were just gorgeous, full of flowers, and they still are, and I love how they just keep coming back. And then we have black-eyed Susans that are in full bloom. Sweet Annie doesn't really bloom that I have seen. It just makes some really delicate seeds. It's very beautiful. As you can see, I planted a bunch of it out here, and I'm not ever going to plant it again. It's crazy. It has just gone crazy. Linda thinks she's hiding, but she's really not. So I think I've covered everything in the garden for today. Lots more to be seen, lots more to put in. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I'll see you in the next video.